British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has tested positive for coronavirus and is self-isolating at his Downing Street residence but said he would still lead the government's response to the accelerating outbreak. Johnson, 55, experienced mild symptoms on Thursday, a day after he answered at the Prime Minister's weekly question and answer session in Parliament's House of Commons chamber. "I've taken a test. That has come out positive," Johnson said on Friday in a video statement broadcast on Twitter. "I've developed mild symptoms of the coronavirus. That's to say, a temperature and a persistent cough. So I am working from home. I'm self-isolating," Johnson said. "Be in no doubt that I can continue, thanks to the wizardry of modern technology, to communicate with all my top team to lead the national fightback against coronavirus." Johnson chaired a government meeting on the coronavirus on Friday morning via video conference. It was not immediately clear how many Downing Street staff and senior ministers would now need to isolate themselves given that many have had contact with Johnson over recent days and weeks. His finance minister, Rishi Sunak, is not self-isolating, a Treasury source said. Britons paid tribute to health workers on Thursday evening, clapping and cheering from doorways and windows. Johnson and Sunak took part, but came out of separate entrances on Downing Street and did not come into close contact, according to a Reuters photographer at the scene. It was not immediately clear whether Johnson's 32-year-old partner, Carrie Symonds, who is pregnant, had been tested. Queen Elizabeth last saw Johnson on March 11 and she remains in good health, Buckingham Palace said. The Queen last saw the PM on the 11th of March and is following all the appropriate advice with regards to her welfare, a palace spokesman said. Previously the government has said that Johnson has the option to delegate to Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab if needed. The Prime Minister was tested for coronavirus on the personal advice of England's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Chris Whitty, a Downing Street spokesman said. The test was carried out in number 10 by NHS staff and the result of the test was positive, the spokesman said. So far, 578 people in the United Kingdom have died after testing positive for coronavirus and the number of confirmed cases has risen to 11,658. The death toll is the seventh highest in the world, after Italy, Spain, China, Iran, France and the United States, according to a Reuters tally. Prince Charles, the 71-year-old heir to the British throne, tested positive for coronavirus earlier this week. He is in good health and is now self-isolating at his residence in Scotland with mild symptoms along with his wife Camilla, who tested negative, his office said.